Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I'm Jim. I use he/him pronouns, and this is our campaign of Lords of Gossamer and Shadow, a diceless game by Jason Durall about powerful reality-hopping beings and a spiritual successor to the Amber Diceless role-playing game. We're going to go ahead and go around and say hi to everybody, find out who they are and who they're playing, starting once again with Noctua. Hello.
Hello. I am Noctua, she, her. Today I will be playing Dame Laudine, also she, her, who is our knight in shining armor.
Yay. And now we will go over to Mary. Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her. I go by the Nerd on Wheels online, and I am playing tonight Atropos, the Harbinger, our spooky Death Witch lady.
Excellent. And now we will head over to Melissa. Hello.
Hi, I am Melissa Gay. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing Scythe, the rogue with a heart of gold. Also she, her, although if you they, them'd her, she'd probably be okay with that. And I'm excited to be here again.
Excellent. And finally over to Trooper. Hello.
Hello, I am TrooperSJP, and I will be playing our botanist, Merlin Wicht, who, as it turns out, is also the squire to Dame Laudine, and who is very happy to find plants of any sort, no matter how tall, or how small, or how carnivorous. They're lovely.
Excellent. And of course, I'm going to be playing.
Goes by he, him, by the way. And Merlin goes by he, him.
One day I will learn to pause long enough.
It's me.
No. And of course, I am playing Dorian, who is also he, him, and he is a terribly irresponsible, lackadaisical sorcerer who somehow also is a wielder of the Eidolon. We have no idea how that happened. But before I hand things over to our GM, you may see us use the safety tools from time to time. Like we do with the other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, hold up a card, make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know that we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. Content warnings. This game may contain references to betrayal, deceit, graphic combat, and violence. It may also have the potential for PvP action, depending on the player's choices. If I got the bot working again, you can, and you're watching live on Twitch, you can type in !LGSCW, and that will bring up the content warning, and it will also be on rotation. Once I make sure that I've got that set up. Did I set that up? Yes, it is set up now. And finally, please remember that we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. So now, without further ado, I will hand things over to our GM, Brian. Hello.
Hi, I'm Brian. My pronouns are he, him, and yeah, so I'm running this thing. And for the first session, we started off in medias res. This time, I think we're going to split things up, because we ended the last session with everybody kind of going off to do some research or ask some questions. And so I think everyone got at least some of the answers they were looking for, and we'll get into that part in a moment. But right now, what I would like is I'm just going to go around the group, and I would like just a brief description. You could do it as a montage. You could describe, like, if you're back in your domain, you could describe what that looks like, whatever, of just what it looked like while you were doing this, if you see what I mean. And I think we're going to start with Atropos. What were you up to during this time?
Well, I was trying to figure out a little bit more info about the dagger and whether or not it was active back at my domain. Probably a place where if it was active, it couldn't do too much damage. But I happy with the answers I got. Should I share them now, or are
Not
we?
necessarily, but can you describe just a little bit of what your domain looks like if you were back there doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, if I get my character sheet up, um, as far as her domain, everything is in grayscale, very similar to uh the world in the second Dune movie, where I cannot remember the family's name to
The
save my life.
Harkonnens.
The Harkonnens world, where like everything is in that black and gray scale.
Geedy Prime.
Yeah, the that world it's pretty similar, except for there is no life. It almost looks like everything has been paused. Like the brittle leaves blowing through the wind just hang in midair. Even like if there was some sort of like a blade of grass just moving, it just paused. Everything looks like it's just frozen. The city streets almost look like they were at one time were full, but now there are just shadows of what the people would have looked like, almost in a sculpture type way. It very much has a Grecian style, as lots of beautiful pillars and marble stonework, but the color and beauty that this world once held is just all drained. And the city that is built into this mountain, at the very top of it sits this crystalline castle, which is probably where we would find Atropos. In this castle, there are a myriad of different items and dangerous artifacts. And I think she's just kind of found a little pedestal to set the knife on to do the different umbral work on to try and figure out the information. And I should say that the name of Atropos' world is the Ashen Twilight, because
I like that.
the sun almost looks like it's about to fully set, but it's frozen in time. And as she just enters the castle and looks at the sunset, you can see like the exhaustion melt away as a second on the clock shifts one step.
Nice. I love the visuals on that. All right, I think speaking of visuals, let's see. I think maybe Jim. What does the montage look like while you're doing your you were doing a lot of you were also looking at the knife, but you'd sort of made a proxy, right?
Yeah. I made I copied the spells.
Yeah,
that
that's
were on
right.
it.
So you've got this magical lattice work of the spells that were literally it's still basically in a knife shape. It's just the spells around it.
Yeah, basically. And so I copied them into this book that
Right.
Was essentially created sort of in an imitation, somewhat in an imitation of the book that Merdine has. But mine is much less cool because it's just generated through a spell. But it's essentially it's a so it's this thing where I think to a certain extent, well, what did he do? There were a couple of things that he was looking into, including the spells on the knife. So he needed for some of that to go back to his study, and so his realm is called Malvor, and it is kind of. This is really so. It's essentially like 1910s, 1920s sort of UK, where he lives anyway, his part of the world. He's not exactly an aristocrat, but he's very close to one. He kind of has any title he has there, he kind of got because he for a while worked with the government there. But how could he possibly have gotten a government job, but as irresponsible as he is? Everyone wondered that. But it was with intelligence, so that probably explained it.
Yeah, and especially if it's modeled on the UK, I think that answers the other half of your question.
But the thing being that it's a place that does have supernatural things happening. There's a little bit of a demon problem every now and then. There are other realms that sometimes are contacted there. It's not a central realm. It's not a central world. But it's essentially a place where there is magic, although it is again only. It's generally something only people who have taken the time to study it or really have gotten it. It's just inaccessible enough that not everybody's using it. And so the government does try to use it somewhat, and so that was part of what he was doing. But he is at this point free of that job and is sort of one of the heads of his own cult. It's a bad term. It's really more of a club. It's really more of a social club, a secret society / social club, who are also some good number of whose members are also aware of the multiversal nature of reality. So kind of part of how he got into it in the first place. This group, known as the Order of the Veiled Horizon, it's essentially just they study magic, and they also are interested to an extent in hedonism. So he went back home because not only did he have to study things and have access to his study and his spell chamber and what have you, but also he needed to make some phone calls. It's that he has a friend who is a right and can make icons of people, but asking them to make icons of everybody in the cult might be a step too far. So for right now, it's one of those things where, again, he's kind of multitasking. It looks like he's just hanging out, listening to a Victrola play a jaunty tune. Basically, this world, I should explain, or at least his corner of it. This is a horrible thing to do to any literature. But if you were to mash up, I guess, Hellboy and Jeeves and Wooster, this is sort of where you would arrive. And
I'm so there for that.
So
I also approve.
His valet Wilkins does a lot of the groundwork for a lot of things for him, and he sometimes will run ragged. But so he is in his study. He's got a nice like a glass of sherry or something similar, and is sort of poring over the spell. He's got a couple of other books that are sort of nearby, and it looks like he's just sort of lounging around for most of it. Most of the time, he doesn't even seem to be looking at the books and just sort of staring out the window, but he's thinking. And at the same time, he will he has a telephone on the desk that, again, this is sort of period telephone, right? So no buttons or anything on it, but that he's occasionally just sort of chatting into with some of the other folks in the secret society, to essentially try to the ones that are more understanding of the nature of magic and how it relates to the Grand Stair and the other worlds, and just sort of trying to work out things both about these spells and also about there was this necklace that he saw briefly that he kind of just was wanting to ask around about. It's like, anyone know anything about this? Because that's a thing. That's a thing we may have to be kind of cautious about. So that's a thing that he's also kind of asking around about a little bit, and also catching up on gossip, that kind of thing, as things go.
Excellent. Thanks a lot.
I'm
right,
sorry, was that too much?
No, it actually wasn't. That was great. Because really what I'm trying to do is get a feel for the places you guys are operating. Speaking of which, Mervine, was your stuff in your realm that you were doing, or were you elsewhere?
Well, I mean, it was a little bit of all sorts of things, really. I mean, I traveled with Dame Laudine back to Sealig,
Oh yeah.
Yes, we traveled there, and they were talking about all sorts of things, and I got distracted and found my way into the garden, obviously, where I went and had a lovely conversation with the tiger roses, which was, I mean, I don't know if you've ever had a conversation with tiger roses, but they're very pleasant, quite nice, really. I great conversationists, if you know how to speak to them. We had a lovely conversation about things, and then I became a little bit nervous about some of the things they told me, not because they were rude, because they're not rude at all. I don't actually think flowers can be rude. Well, no, they could be. It's a different cultural differences. My point is that there were people, so I had to try to tell Dame Laudine that there might be people there who are, well, villainous, but I couldn't actually just tell her right there in front of everyone, so I had to wait until we left. And then I spent some time back over at her domain, which was very lovely, but then I had to go and I cleaned up a few things, and I watered flowers, and then I made sure they actually had vodka. I think some places call it, that's what vodka, that's what my sorcerer's friend called it. I called it some other. Anyway, not the point. Point is, then I went back to my domain for a bit. It was a bit of time to go and study the tiger roses to get to know their true name. True names are important, And so I went to my domain a bit just to, I have one. I got one. I made one. I made a whole domain all my own. I did it. And I actually showed Dame Laudine, and she said she was very proud of me that I was able to do such a thing. And so I have my own as well. And I spent quite some time in my domain, which is very similar, sort of. Maybe not so similar to the other ones, but I would say it's very calming. It's only, well, you know what it's like. Every biome you could ever imagine exists in my domain. Every climate. You want rainforest? I have rainforest. Would you like arid? I also have arid. Would you like scrub? I have all of that. There are no people there, of course. People are bothersome. But there are the sequoia, the traveling giant trees. They needed a place to. Well, they needed a refuge. Oh, did I tell you? My home is called the Greenhouse Refuge. I do have a place there, like with a desk and all that, sort of like a tree house. The trees allowed me to live there amongst them. I thought that was very nice. So it's a nice, a lovely sort of all clear and and I sit there with my pipe and in my own little place and just amongst myself and plants. Also sometimes little bees and whatnot. And I just sat there drinking tea by myself on an entire planet with nobody but me. Well, and now these sequoia, which they're quite nice. I do like them. Yes. Yeah, I was doing research. By myself.
Excellent. So Scythe, what does your montage look like while you were where did your researches take you?
Oh, well, the first thing I do in order to do research is just go home. My domain is called Trionics, and for that, just think I'm going to throw an old person reference out there. The Grimjack comics from 1980s. Think Cynosure. Think Sanctuary, the Thieves' World.
Oh, yeah.
Think Moss Isley Spaceport. It's a wretched hive of scum and villainy, y'all. Magic and technology coexist, though often in different neighborhoods. There is more technology than magic, for sure. And it's inhabited by thieves, rogues, and pirates. And rather than being the ruler of the world, Scythe is basically your Captain Jack Sparrow from the first movie, not where he got all cool and powerful, but in the part where, everyone slapped him for doing something wrong to them every time he shows his face. So, yeah, Scythe likes to sort of live on the edge, like so, and make deals with people. And some of those deals involve information.
The deal has gone bad.
Oh man.
No.
On the plus side, it didn't freeze
Thought it
both of
was
us
me.
somehow. All right, hang on.
I was worried. Oh no, has she been kidnapped by all those malefactors, nefarious riffraff that find their way to Trionics?
Information.
There we
oh
go.
no.
Time
You
flows in
froze
certain
for a minute.
worlds
You're back.
sometimes.
Did we get it?
Yep, you're back.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right. Yeah, so I access my spy network, basically, for whom I also have to do favors in return. So I had a fun week, basically. And what I've been sort of researching is just, I've been researching the place we were, which is the world called Celix, and what I've been revisiting what exactly their place is in sort of the intra-world trading situation.
Cool.
And also trying to find out a bit more about Tamsin, this new place that we're suddenly hearing a lot about. So, you guys, how was your time?
Let's see. So, speaking of which, and also speaking of Celix, if I recall correctly, wasn't Laudine also looking into Celix?
Yes, she actually went back to Celix to talk to the Duchess, which she didn't get to do a whole lot of the first time round. So I imagine this time was a lot less formal, and it was far more of like a private audience. They had a cup of tea and they had a delightful conversation. And Laudine got to meet the Duchess and learned a little bit about the way the government is set up on Celix, and asked a little bit more about Tamsin and how Tamsin came to have a presence there, and got some interesting answers, a lot of which was revealed last time. Learned a couple new things. Laudine also met the nephew of the Duchess, this fabulous Prince Charming in whose honor the ball was held. Uh, and man, so many people want that guy dead.
Well, this might be a good time. I suspect we didn't state this specifically, but I suspect you all agreed to meet back later with what you had learned. So if it's okay with you, we can cut to that. My question is, where are you meeting?
I'm happy to have everyone at Albion again if y'all want that aesthetic. Yeah.
That does seem to work, and it is a place that Atropos can stick around longer. So that is awfully nice. Okay, so if that's the case, yeah, I'm assuming you're back in that the same room you were in before.
Yeah.
So you have agreed upon a place and a time, and yeah, what is uh I guess who's talking first? Because all of you know that you've been gathering information and have come back for this.
So as everyone trickles in, Laudine will this is a little bit more structured than the first time where we were just like debriefing, but she will invite everyone to a seat at her very oval table, and uh,
Round
she'll
would be nice. That's all. A nice round table.
yes, it is oblong, and she's doing the medieval equivalent of like shuffling a stack of papers in front of her, and she's like, "All right, so I know Meridian and I have gone to Celix, and we have some more information there. And did you, the rest of y'all, learn anything useful?"
Well, we picked up a couple of tidbits. Celix is basically, well, their rep is for being kind of a nest of vipers, if the vipers wore couture.
Oh.
But, it's a fairly typical feudal structured place, I guess. It's got a monarch, and, Queen Satana has ruled for nearly 2 decades now, and she basically runs her court by pomp, circumstance, and fear. Kind of typical, I suppose. Keep the nobles busy, keep the monarchy strong, that kind of thing. And I found out that, the Duke and Duchess of Turin, our party hosts, were basically the most powerful of the nobles. And, of course, their nephew is the Duke's heir that everyone wants dead for reasons unknown. But on the other end of that coin, I just mixed my metaphor, but no one even heard the name Tamsin until recently, you guys. They obviously have a solid infrastructure because, while they haven't spread out too far yet, what they have done seems to be happening fast. And that implies a lot of resources, a lot of money, power, favors to throw at problems. And what I have managed to glean so far suggests that they have a lot of people who can travel between worlds. And they have access to things in those worlds that a lot of people want.
Oh. They seem to be the sort that want to drain worlds of all the vitality, their life, their water and who knows what. Have you heard anything about that?
I haven't, but the level of resource control that these people are exercising seems to indicate that it might be, well, hand in hand with things that drain stuff out of other worlds.
Ladine looks very pensive at all of this. You know, I reiterated a lot of your findings. I went and spoke to the Duchess, and she was very forthcoming about most of this.
Oh.
She did get stuck on Tamsin. Couldn't seem to recall much about the place or the envoy who came to Salix at all.
It happened at the party too, didn't it?
It did. After much prompting, she could admit that there had been an envoy and they had come. And the Majordomo's records indicated that the envoy planted those tiger roses themselves.
What? That's weird. I mean,
that's weird.
Diplomatic envoys don't usually carry
their own
spades.
They don't generally do their own gardening. Aside from Merdine, who definitely does his own gardening.
Well, special case.
Yes.
Yes, but I'm also not an envoy. I did.
You count as an envoy.
Oh, thank you. I have just gained a new title. I did speak with the Tiger Roses, by the way. We had a lovely conversation, and I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that they're doing well and they're being well fed. That's good.
Neat.
The bad news is that, well, you know, in order for their song to be heard by anyone who wishes to hear their song, you know, someone has to be there in person and sing to them in person, which means there is someone there on Salix who sings to them to gather their information somewhat regularly. And that's not the best. But I asked them what this person looked like, but they are, after all, how do I say this politely? Flowers, you know, and they don't have like eyes. So that was somewhat awkward. But they do have the ability to remember and recall. Herbie. Herbie, could you play back the sound of the voice, if you would? They sang to me, you see. Would you mind?
And the voice you hear is it's a soft alto voice. Every single one of you has excellent memories. You would recognize it if you heard it again. Merdine, you know that this the thing that they are singing back to you is the thing that they heard this person sing most, which is the song to get them to repeat what they've heard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yes, that one is the get repeat what you've heard song. There's another one which is you know, sing a song of joy. But that's different. I learned that myself, and it's very nice. Heather, you can go. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, so someone who I do not know, not the Duchess, has been collecting reports. I did ask the flowers to forget the conversation that I had in the garden, so the flowers will not report on us having been there to whoever this might be.
Question for the DM. Did we meet anyone on Salix with a soft alto voice?
Not yet. You have yeah, that is a good question. None of you have heard this voice before. Yes. Okay. Thank you for asking. I should have mentioned that. Yeah, none of you recognize it right off.
Okay.
That seems somewhat distressing, I'd say.
Yes, the plot thickens.
Indeed. I have a question. Some people I would imagine, might be able to tell something from the voice, not just that it's a soft alto, but, if it's a highborn or lowborn, what sort of, what do you call it, manners, they might have, is this, yeah, so perhaps if this were like a scullery maid, might have a different sort of, I mean, I've seen My Fair Lady. I was brought there by my favorite sorcerer. I was moving pictures. How amazing! But yes, I thought that maybe we could tell something about that.
I do hear a lot of accents coming through Trionics. It's worth a try.
So, Herbie, could you re-sing the song that we got from the Tiger Roses?
Oh, just a moment, just in case. I'm going to go ahead and do my. I'm going to go ahead and do my. Sorry, I have to get to the tab with it on it, so that I remembered what I called it. The transcribe spell. Again, real quick. I'm going to. Which again, it's in the watch. So I just open it and I will. A Victrola appears. Or something similar. I can't remember if they used. I can't remember if they. I think they could use that to record as well, couldn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just a different sort of setting.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's probably the type with cylinders. And so I don't know. Well, actually, quick question. I think this is fairly simple enough technology, but I do need to ask, for Laudine, does this work in your realm?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't use electricity.
Yeah, I have to crank it by hand.
Yeah, so long as you crank it by hand, it's fine. The medieval castle does not have electricity.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I'm like, so there's a brief moment of regret on his face as Dorian remembers that he did not bring any servants with him. So he will operate the crank himself.
Medieval castle does actually have servants.
Do you want them to overhear any of this? I guess is the question. Because
best not. I wouldn't want to distress them.
I didn't suppose you want any of your. All right. So he does kind of ask for a second. He's like, no, fair. And confidential and all that. And go ahead and state secrets. And he'll put the crank in and he'll start. All right, feel free.
Oh yes, Herbie, if you would, thank you. The flowers inside the book itself sort of sing the song, right? So it's not the book that's doing it; it's the flowers inside the book that is retelling it. Thank you, Herbie. Thank you. Oh. Does anyone know anything? Scythe perhaps, like a accent or some such thing, right? Maybe something.
How about it? Do I recognize anything in the accent or turn of phrase?
Or
failing that, can I tell anything about the person that used this dialect?
I can answer both questions. The first one is not at all, which says something.
That is
it doesn't seem to relate to any sort of families of languages or accents that you've heard, because you don't understand something I should explain. I'm pretty sure the players get this, but to listeners, when someone travels to another world through the Grand Stair does a thing which allows you to understand the languages that anyone speaks. It doesn't prevent you from also hearing that language. And in this particular case, because this is not a Grand Stair situation, you can purely hear the language. There's no translation going on for you. So I bring that up because it's also not a language you've heard before. And all of you have heard a lot of languages, and Scythe has probably heard even more than that, at least been exposed to them. But So you do not recognize the language or the voice or anything like that. However, you've been around a lot of different types of people, and there are obviously always cultural differences. A highborn person from one culture is not necessarily going to sound like a highborn person from another culture. But if you boil it down, there is a certain tone and attitude that comes from someone that is used to giving orders as opposed to making requests. And you are hearing the giving orders tone in this one.
Yikes. So, probably not the gardener. Although, if I wanted to pass unnoticed in a different world, I might pose as a gardener.
Sorry, about the giving orders. Are they military orders? Does it sound like this person is used to barking commands, or is this like a, delegate to my valet?
Yeah, the second one. These sound like the people that you sometimes get orders from, as opposed to the way other people might hear you.
Okay.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah. It's relevant for Laudine because she's like, okay, I can do one of these, but not really the other.
Yeah, because you're right. I see Laudine as a general more than a noble, and this definitely sounds, and not even noble. This is a step up. This sounds royal.
Ooh. Well, someone's full of themselves.
Interesting. Well, so the question becomes, are we dealing with a royal from somewhere else or a royal from there? Which, there's not that many, queen and all that.
We know Celix has a queen, whom none of us have met, and if an envoy from another world was on Celix, presumably the queen would be aware. Not necessarily, but it does sound like they went through official diplomatic channels to meet the Duchess. So
they were not speaking the language of Celix, right? This was
right. Yeah. You're all familiar with the language of Celix because the stare has translated it for you, or not translate. It's not a translation. It's deeper than that. But we're not going to go into the details. But right. But all of you are quite familiar with the language of Celix because you've been there and you know what that sounds like. And this sounds extraordinarily different. In fact, for those of you familiar with languages in general, it sounds, if anything, older, like a lot older.
Yikes.
Like, yeah, and Earth equivalent would be
Latin?
Yeah, Latin, or actually Aramaic, maybe.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's actually a good analogy.
Is this something that my weapon would know? If I kind of commune with it?
Oh, that. So how does that work? You're talking about your scythe, obviously, right?
Yeah. So my scythe has. Let me go to the properties. It is a. Its intelligence and communication is able to speak in tongues and voices. It's a 4-point there.
Okay.
And basically, as far as its description, it tries to record dying worlds and memories.
Absolutely.
So I guess and to be fair, it can talk. It's whether it decides to.
Exactly right. If you're, you have the scythe with you?
Oh yeah, it's on my person at all times.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're trying to if you're interrogating the scythe right now to see if it recognizes the singing, the language from the singing, it doesn't.
Oh.
But you suspect that it eventually could.
Gotcha. Okay.
But what that tells you is that it has not been exposed to this before.
Good. That is interesting in itself, because that is not very likely. This scythe has been around longer than any of us have.
Yeah, that almost never happens.
No.
Yeah,
yeah, I think this
actually,
would,
no. I think, let me rephrase that. This may be the first time that's happened.
Yeah. At least as like her as the wielder.
Yeah.
She's just like, I think there's a moment where she's like got a grip on it. And it has like this weird glimmer for like a moment. And she's just, well, that is rather strange. It doesn't know. He's never heard it before.
Yeah. It is unusual.
Uh-huh.
Thought your chum knew everything.
He's quite well read in that aspect, but
Getting creepy, you guys.
well, at least the good news is that the dagger that we do have, it is safe now.
Oh, yes,
Good.
yes.
That's
But
Okay.
Oh, yes.
it's not feeding. It's
Oh,
not
that's good.
siphoning.
Oh, yes. Who
but
has the dagger right now, by the way?
not I. It's
Atropo.
not I.
Ah, yes, right, yes. Don't try to use it.
Absolutely not.
Might be, yes, might be an might have rather difficult time, as it's got one of the spells on. I identified the spells on it a bit further, and one of them is a trap for anyone who's not been approved to make use of it. Not quite certain how the approval process goes for that. Still working that out. But that is a thing.
Huh. But it let me steal it, but not use it.
Yes, yes. Rather lucked out on that one. It
Why,
would
is it
seem.
No stabbing.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it stabbing, or is it like, that's me sucking up the life essence of a world?
Ah.
I don't know.
Well,
Do I know which one of those it is?
Oh, you mean what constitutes use?
Yes.
You do, and so does Atropo. The use is, in fact, the actually kind of both. It's it must be used in the process of sacrificing something.
That's part of the energy that it'll draw.
Yeah. However, both of you are convinced that just stabbing someone with it is not enough. It requires intentionality.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you do rather have to be using it on purpose. Trying to. It's you do the stabbing and then the.
So as long as you just stab, then you're fine, I guess.
I still will
supposedly.
discourage stabbing. Let's not be stabbing at the moment.
Yes,
I think I used it as a toothpick.
Of the two states of stabbing and non-stabbing, non-stabbing is generally preferable. I will say, however, that the other major spell does allow it to stab rather a lot. It does store a huge amount of energy before it goes into whatever's at the other end of the receiving link. Haven't quite worked out the recipient one, but I think you probably may know more about that than I. He says, sort of gesturing to Atropo. But of course, one one of there are two location spells. One points to Selix, and the other points to a place that I have a feeling is going to be a rather difficult place to get to.
The court of Bretagne. where they wear high couture, and then also like what Scythe said, right? It's like lots of high couture, but also backstabbing vipers. I was paying attention. I've never been to Britain myself. Well, I actually think I might have, but just not when you were saying.
No, that was it.
Oh. Awkward.
Ah. No, not at all.
Wait, where is this place?
No, one of the spells points, one of the location spells points to Selix. The other one I haven't wasn't. It was a place that I have not yet determined quite exactly what it is.
Oh.
And again, I was suspected Atropos might have a better lead on that, perhaps. Maybe?
I feel like there's just this, like, in the friendly rivalry way of a side eye at
Oh.
and then she'll just say, "No, unfortunately, I do not.
Ah,
However,
pity.
but yes, just blink, blink." And then she'll take a deep breath and continue. However, at least, yes, you are correct that stabbing something is a way to do it, but that is not it. It's not the only way. You don't have to have the dagger on the proper place you want to siphon it from. That requires a very large ritual, very powerful, something that very difficult to pull off, but you can anchor it that way.
Weird. So, wait, are you saying, I mean, by implication, that it's possible that someone in that world that we don't know where it is or what it is could, like, give a remote control ritual command to that dagger and have it siphon all the energy out of Selix whenever it feels like?
This is what I don't quite understand yet.
Wait.
While
That would mean that's two,
yes.
right? So somebody drops the tiger roses on Selig, probably not for Selig's best interest, and perhaps also dropped that dagger there, also not for Selig's best interest. Like, perhaps they like dropping little breadcrumbs of doom. And
Doom crumbs.
doom crumbs. That would be bad, then, I would imagine.
You see Ladine like just puts a hand on the dagger at her hip.
At least what I know about it, the ritual is quite complicated and I don't have every step. But I believe the dagger doesn't have to be in the world it's trying to draw the energy from. But interestingly enough, it's not. Yes, you can start it by killing someone in a sacrificial way, but also the destruction of something native to that world will do just the same.
Oh, like the Duke's nephew, perchance?
Or a native plant, a tree.
Oh.
Killing a tree, that's barbaric. This was called the Cerebral Dagger of the Seven Sages of Tamsin, is what it's called. Do you think that implies there's 7 of these daggers, or just one? Do you think that the 7 sages all share one dagger, or do you think there might be 7 daggers? Because that would be terrible. They could be flung.
It should be rather awkward, 7 people trying to grip a single blade.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I hope there's not 7 of them.
Remembering the dagger and what it looked like, were there any identifying markers that would denote, like, whether, like, sometimes if there's like a set of something, there would be like something denoting it?
Yeah, thinking back on it, yeah, you think so. You think that what you've got is probably a yeah, you believe it's one of a set.
Yikes.
There's a set. Correct.
Oh, I'm so sorry I asked.
It is better to know than to be surprised.
You're right. You always say that. They don't, like, join together in some strange way, do you think? Are there strange notches or anything like this? I don't have it in my head.
I am I would have to see too to see if there's anything to
May I take a look
connect.
at it? The dagger.
Yeah, 1 sec. And then I think she'll just kind of blip back with the dagger.
Ooh.
I like that.
That's really cool. So if you hand it to Ladine, she's gonna like turn it over in her hands. What kind of dagger is it? Like, does it look like it would be good at stabbing people?
Okay, yes. Quite good at stabbing people, but more in a surgical setting than a combat setting.
Okay.
It's extraordinarily sharp. In fact, Dorian, I think you may have mentioned this when you first looked at the dagger. One of the spells on it is, in fact, a spell that keeps it extraordinarily sharp forever. And it's a fairly minor spell, but it's extremely effective. Also, let me think about this, because knives. Yeah, it's not weighted well for like being in a knife fight. But it does allow for like multiple grips. Again, it looks like a surgical tool more than a weapon.
Okay. Which would imply that the victim is somehow immobilized or otherwise not fighting back.
Fair point. Yeah.
Okay, so Ladine turns it over in her hands a couple times and like grips it 4 different ways and like turns it upside down and like turns it right side up. She's like, this is terribly unwieldy. Only way to use this is if your opponent's already lying down. Then just hands it back to Atropos.
That's not very honorable, not very chivalrous at all.
No, not at all. Terrible way to win a fight.
Dorian is going to just look over at Atropos and just sort of like, I actually am wondering something. Perhaps. And he's going to take out what looks like a little notebook, which, again, seems incongruous. But just sort of flip to where he was. He had notes down about the. He was taking notes down separately about the when he was working on figuring out the location spells, and he'll just sort of come over and be like, "All right, so it seems to me now." So our working theory, yes, is that they can remotely, if they need to, along this location line, activate. Yes, you think, or do you think that's purely going to be used for carrying the power? You think they can activate it remotely, as we've been talking about?
Perhaps it's like some sort of petard.
It would take a lot of magic. I don't quite know.
Well, that can store quite a bit. I have a strange thought that if we, although I don't know what degree of mischief we wish to enact on this sort of artifact, but I was wondering if it might be possible to invert the direction of the spells, of the suction spell. So that when they activate it, without tripping the authorization, you see, that would be the tricky bit. But if it were possible, then when they activate it, they might suddenly find themselves drained and all the power going to Selix. I don't know if we want to try mischief like that, but it's a thing that I was just sort of thinking about in the back of my head.
It is something we could attempt.
Something else I was thinking about this. This is not my forte. I could spend some time studying this a bit to concentrate on it, see if it might have a true name. I'm not. Usually it's Herbie who does these things. But I I'm not a master of the arcane, but I have studied. I do like to read books. And I know that there's symbolic harmonics and convergence and sympathetic resonances and whatnot. I would certainly not be able to do so, but perhaps Dorian, you might be able to do something along the lines of, if you have one of the daggers and there's a set of 7, perhaps you could use one to find the others. And if we found what the others were, well, I mean, hopefully they're not with the 7 Sages of Tamsin, because I imagine they sound quite bad. But perhaps they've dropped them off in places, and these are little breadcrumbs we could use to find the Tamsin itself. Or
Doom crumbs.
Doom crumbs, yes, doom crumbs.
The bread of doom.
This would imply that if there are 7 Sages of Tamsin, and each one of them has a knife, dagger, implement, then would one of the sages be the culprit on Selex? You know, the one with the soft alto voice who croons to the tiger roses.
Ooh.
We should definitely find out.
Ooh. But that would make sense. Oh, just a small thought. Yes, I know that you found the cerebral dagger of the 7 Sages of Tamsin, part 1 of 7 or 3 of 7, whichever number it is. You just found it as you were tripping along in the estate somewhere, accidentally is what I thought you said. Do you think they've noticed that it's gone? Because that might be, you know, I mean, perhaps they're very, what's the word? Forgetful, absent-minded. Perhaps they just leave their daggers about every which way. But maybe they know it's missing, and that could be bad, couldn't it? Or it could be good. I don't know. What happened when you found it?
Well, it all seemed kind of straightforward at the time. You know, in my line of hobby, one develops a sense for things that have sort of an aura about them of causing chaos and mischief. And I don't know, maybe it resonates in something in me that just wants to liberate it. Perhaps restoring the cosmic balance.
That's lovely.
I mean, I can't lie about that. I just think it's cool and fun. So, but yeah, I was just kind of poking around, and I wasn't consciously using my chaos sense, if you will, but I just felt called to liberate that dagger.
Impulse control.
Well, yes, I suppose I did.
Oh, I don't mean anything by it. It's fascinating.
Well, I don't think that it's chaos. I think that it's the wild, like vines growing, you know, like unimpeded, uncultivated natural growth. But was it like in a box, or was it hidden, or was it just like how?
Was it in someone's pocket?
These are also questions. Or the scabbard.
Well, I have definitely been called uncultivated before, so I guess I'll take that. And
But that's a compliment.
I'm being complimented all over the place. This is lovely. I will accept compliments tonight. This is good. But Brian, GM.
Yes.
Where the heck did I find the stupid thing?
It was in okay. It was in a okay, here's what it was. It was a secret room hidden in the recesses of a bed chamber.
See, okay, that's just on them. Because if they're going to create a secret room, obviously I'm going to go in it and see what they're hiding. So, yes, it was in a secret alcove, in a secret room, in a bed chamber. Oh, let me think. I don't think I ever found out
Guest or
what the owner of
guest?
the bed chamber was. But it was in the.
You did not. You're right about that. But I will
Yeah.
tell you, you know, it was not the Duke and Duchess's bedchamber, and you
Oh.
also know that it was not the nephew's bedchamber.
Wait. Where was the room again?
Well, it was in the north corridor. Third
Maureen is
floor.
trying to call to mind.
Oh crap! You actually know the layout. I forgot.
The layout of the
I know
place.
exactly where I was.
Yeah.
If I can remember, yes.
Good call. So as Scythe, and of course, yeah, like Scythe's memory is especially good for casing joints. So yeah, so fair point. That means it was.
For all he knows, Dorian might have visited this bedchamber. He doesn't know. It's probably visited. He visited
possible,
someone's. I'm not sure.
You know, you know what's what about that particular palace. This would have been the bedchamber of the okay, it's got a fancy title that I'm gonna have to come up with later. It is essentially the person that is in charge of running the house, meaning
seneschal.
Yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. It's a seneschal, specifically running the staff and all of that. So yeah, thank you. Seneschal is exactly what I'm looking for.
Did I meet the seneschal? Do I know their name or anything?
You have met the seneschal. And now that you think about it,
I don't like that.
You're pretty sure he was the one running that ritual that summoned Atropos.
Oh. And so for a second, Dorian's like, oh. Do we have a name, by the way, for this person, out of curiosity?
Not yet. You want to come up with one? Feel free.
I'm trying to. This was a medieval, more historical or more fantasy realm?
It was Renaissance.
Renaissance-ish. Okay. Any particular country?
Nah, feel free. I've got names all over the place for this thing. So
okay. Yeah, something like that. I'll go. Oh, we can go Italian. So let's see. This is. Oh, that's Giulio's chamber, I think.
Giulio,
yes. Yes, the seneschal.
I don't remember.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yes, I do remember. Yes, I was. I did bump into him a few times. Was sort of initially during the soirees. Was sort of trying to on a couple of occasions that I'd been there just to sort of figure out. Someone's pressed a magic button somewhere. I can sense it. Thank you so much. No, but my understanding
I do love
is
magic buttons.
Is that there was a situation where I was trying to make certain that things were not. Should I find myself in any particular areas of that of the palace that should prove difficult or scandalous, that I might just make a note of them. You see, and. So as to make sure that I could locate them later, but it did seem that yes, Giulio, that was where Giulio mentioned his chamber was, in that wing, and so I do believe that was his. Seneschal of the castle, in charge of organizing all the things. Fascinating. Oh, yes, he was the one, by the way, just sort of, and then as an afterthought turns to Atropos. Oh, yes, he was the one, gave you that necklace.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh no,
we've lost our
disappeared.
contact with humanity. We've lost our contact with the beyond.
I'm feeling all turned around.
I know.
Quick, the GM's not here. Steal the plot.
Yes. We're now going to briefly heist the plot. Let me see.
Everyone gets 700 more points to spend.
Nice.
Excellent. Good.
What is some about this?
So I think this is a decent. Wait. People are returning.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, that was a bad one. That got us both.
Some sort
yes.
of
Sometimes the demons give, sometimes they take away.
Arg. All right.
Yeah.
Arg.
I think Melissa's working on getting back into.
Righto.
All right.
Do you?
Yes, basically it's
sometime.
Yes.
Anyway, go ahead. No.
Yeah, Julio's room.
Got it.
Melodine.
And he's the one who gave you that. He was the one leading that ritual. Basically, he was pointing to Atropos.
Interesting.
Dame Melodine, if I might say something.
Yes, please.
Well, if the Duchess is an upstanding ruler of her duchy, are we not obligated by chivalry and duty to let her know that there are malefactors in her court? I mean, if we have some sort of, they're trying to kill her nephew after all, and if there's doing rituals to summon Atropos, that seems that perhaps would we be obligated to tell her, or do we think that she didn't remember the Tamsin, so maybe she's innocent of all these things, and maybe we should let her know for her own safety, especially if they want to drain her world dry. I defer that to you, but I thought I'd ask.
It is a good point and well thought out. My one hesitation is that we currently don't have enough information to bring this case to the Duchess at all. We can tell her about mysterious malefactors in the darkness, but what would she do about it? If we can identify a culprit, perhaps it is this Julio, perhaps it is someone else entirely. But if we have a malefactor and proof of malfeasance, and we can bring that to the Duchess concretely, then yes, we would be obligated to do so. But in the absence of proof and on nothing more than supposition, I would hesitate. I do not want to accuse someone falsely.
You're right. Why you're wise.
I could attempt to set up a meeting if that would help with our new friend.
Ooh, perhaps, do you know if your trap had been sprung? Dearest Atropos, you put some sort of trick upon them when they tried to assassinate the nephew, then something was going to happen, yes? Perhaps it has been sprung and they've been caught red-handed or something? I don't know exactly how your trap was going to work. I hope it involved spores. I love spores, a good spore trap.
I guess, have I noticed the magic been used or any kind of like a flicker of reminder?
Yes. Actually, yeah, you definitely have. What are you looking for specifically along those lines, or anything? Are you just looking for?
I think more so she's trying to find an in. So if something has worked and like they're trying to tug to get information, she's trying to it's very much she put the potion out there as a way to keep tabs. Oop,
Got it. In that case, definitely. Yes. Someone definitely tried to use it to poison the nephew, in fact. Well, actually, no, actually, you might have enough tags on it that it would give you even that information, but you definitely know it got used. Yes.
I will say, they have tried to use it. I'm sure they will be reaching out soon for things not working the way they wanted to.
Was there some sort of big spore upon them? So are they all arrested now? Have they been apprehended by the local authorities?
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, it's just for me to know.
It's interesting. Yeah, maybe it's interesting. I don't know. But I am wondering rather if, say, that Julia wanted to sacrifice the Duke's nephew, which is, that's sacrificing someone of an aristocratic blood, that sort of thing. There are certain resonances one can gain off of that for a spell, I suppose. Someone key to a realm, perhaps. But if he wanted to sacrifice him, why not just use the dagger? Obviously, there wasn't time for him to know it was missing. Why go to the trouble of summoning you to get the job done for him?
My thoughts exactly, especially finding out the different ways it can be used. I mean, the ritual involved to not necessarily have to commit an act such as that is rather involved, in depth, and dangerous. I don't see why someone wouldn't just, have it do what it's supposed to.
Make with the stabbing, yes.
Wait a minute. Yeah. I don't mean to be alarmist, but what if summoning you to off the nephew was... What if they weren't summoning you to off the nephew? You are, after all, the harbinger of death and doom, and then if something happened to that planet, people would blame you, wouldn't they? They would say it was your fault that it happened when maybe it was them, siphoning and whatnot. You could be their alibi.
Yes. Not the first time, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're fine. It's normal. I mean, you pop up, the world ends, people die. Fingers are kind of pointed at you automatically.
Yes.
I have to say, it's quite unfair. Your reputation is when anybody says anything bad about you, I tell them, don't you dare. Atropos, quite lovely.
That is rather kind of you.
Good heart. But what if they brought you there for nefarious purposes and not for the nephew at all? What if, I mean, it is you they summoned, not just anyone. And, well, I mean, you are, well, you're exceedingly powerful and symbolically important and all of that.
There's a moment where she just kind of takes a pause, very much in a way of like contemplating the options. And she will just say, it's either they're incredibly stupid or they don't know what they're dealing with. Either way.
Yeah. Never underestimate the determination of the stupid.
If they aren't stupid, then they want what I can do. And that is more interesting.
Well, they just wanted to cause... Maybe the Duke's nephew might not be the final target. A target, perhaps. Perhaps they wanted a series of dominoes to fall. And
well, bad luck for them. They summoned me as well.
I know, very careless of him to just leave his knife lying there in a secret compartment in his in his closed alcove in his private bedroom.
Exactly my point.
Well guarded and everything, and
I will say,
how your ball gown got so singed.
Oh. It was part of the charm of my look for the evening.
I maintain she went down a chimney.
Ooh.
I
How else do you get covered in soot?
Okay, I might have gone up a chimney at one point to evade certain other guards, but coming down. Well, okay, yeah, I did. I had to come down after I went up. Yes.
And there we have it.
I have to say, this seems like there was a lot more going at this party than I even realized. I was just so distracted by the hedge maze. I mean, I love a good hedge maze.
I mean, it sounds like we all had an exciting party.
Yes, I cataloged 4 different types of flowers. It was amazing. But I'm still quite worried about the safety of this nephew, or especially if this dagger just destroys worlds.
So I did have some more details about the nephew. Apparently, he had received extensive training in how to thwart assassins, both magical and mundane. And apparently, he's survived yet another attempt on his life just this past week.
Really?
It's quite strange.
Now I'm interested.
Yes. So perhaps the Seneschal summoned Atropos specifically because the nephew has proven himself resilient against all other methods of, death.
There's also the option of when I arrive at a place, a clock begins to tick.
Oh.
And the longer I stay, the more it goes faster and faster. But I could feel it wasn't ready to go yet, but it was beginning.
Maybe they're trying to use you to help them siphon things from a planet. But also, if he's survived, 2 things. 1, Dame Lordine, what do you think? Do you think that he might secretly be the actual heir to the actual kingdom itself, but hidden, like in the mythologies, And so he's not really, he's actually secretly the chosen monarch of Cedex, but in disguise, and that's why he's got so much good training and people are trying to kill him. Or maybe he's supposed to, I don't know, become a dragon rider or something mythic. I mean, that's quite a lot. How many assassination attempts for the nephew of a duke and duchess? I mean, they're quite important, but it seems like a lot. Maybe there's
the Duchess did tell me, and it wasn't very much of a secret, that if things happen a certain way on Celix, then it is possible that this nephew, whose name is Nasir, by the way, could actually ascend the throne and become the sovereign of Celix. Not quite a secret, and he's not a chosen one, and I don't think he's a dragon rider. I couldn't find any evidence of dragons. I looked. Don't think there are any dragons on Celix. It was quite a disappointment, but it is possible for him to gain the throne. It seemed slightly unlikely, or there would have to be several other targeted assassinations before this would be a possibility.
And
he's
what was his description of what he looked like? Just curious.
Ladin will narrate.
Yeah, I didn't actually mention that. I apologize. So
Good
he
job.
has, for that matter, I don't believe I actually described any of the people you talked to there. So, we'll start with Nasir, and you've met the Duchess, and he looks quite a bit like his mother. He has, I mean, he kind of looks like he stepped out of a storybook. He's tall. He has dark skin. He's in athletic condition, but I was gonna say he's not huge, but he's muscular. You would guess actually, Ladine, since you actually talked to him, you are convinced he knows his way around a sword, and for that matter, you can tell that his training is definitely definitely athletic. He's got he's he has an athlete's physique, not a bodybuilder physique.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, like he's tall, conventionally handsome. Yeah, like I said, dark skin.
Did you
Like
make
a
a
Prince
prince who was
Charming.
tall, dark, and handsome?
I did. He has like really short dark hair. And he and the Duchess both share a certain facial features, you know, kind of like the aquiline nose, and things like that. That on a lot of places are sort of a marker of nobility, which mostly just means that, you know, you're related to certain people from generations back.
And you have good nutrition, basically.
Yeah, that too, honestly. But I'm trying to think of an actor to compare him to. Okay, I've got one. It'd be like Giancarlo Esposito if he were like 25 years old.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Okay.
And a running back, you know. So
Okay, so now I'm imagining the Duchess, uh, Queen Calante from The Witcher.
oh sure, that'd do. Yeah. We're
Something like that. Maybe
That's it
minus the
now.
plate mail.
100%. We're on it. Use that one. Yeah, I like that. And none of you have met the Duke yet.
Nope.
No, I didn't really meet anyone. I was distracted.
You met the
Well, other
Duchess.
than the Duchess, you had quite the
Well, yes,
conversation.
I met her
with
the
Duchess.
second time, but the
Yeah,
third time I was distracted in the garden.
That is a good
actually,
point.
I did meet her. That's true.
Yeah.
We had a
You
lovely
talked to her.
conversation.
Yeah, you
I was
were telling
distracting
her about the roses.
Yes.
Yes.
Atropos, before we get too distracted, there was a minor matter I wanted your opinion on. You got the necklace from the seneschal. Could I take a look at it? I was fascinated by that stone.
Absolutely. She'll pull it out, kind of looking at it. It's like, oh, it's shiny. And then it's just gonna pass it over.
Yeah.
So Ladine's gonna take a look at it and very much like, ooh, shiny. But then she's gonna pull out her dagger, and it's got a jewel in the pommel. In all the various forms that this weapon takes, it always has a jewel on it somewhere, generally in the pommel.
Okay.
And she's gonna like pull it out and hold the two up to the light and like compare and see how they shine. Does it look like they are the same material?
They are. Okay, they are not the same material. The one in the necklace is well, first off, they are different colors, but that doesn't mean they're not the same, because, you know, what is it? Rubies and emeralds are the same, or is it rubies and sapphires? Whichever ones are the corundum.
It's rubies and sapphires.
Thank you. And but in this case, you've got an eye for this thing. The one in your weapon is more. Okay, here's a good comparison. The one in your weapon is more like a sapphire, and this one is more like a star sapphire, meaning it's got more of a tiger's eye kind of refraction to it, and it is a deeper color. It is indigo, whereas yours is could be more blue. So now, having said that, the thing in the necklace is definitely of a different order. Oh, look, she's back. It's definitely a different order of power. But you do sense that each jewel sort of is there for similar purposes, if you see what I mean. It's not that they are the same thing, but it's like two different things that do that are there for the same purpose, but the one in the necklace does it more. it is more powerful.
Okay, so I'm getting
Okay.
kind of along the same vector, but radically different magnitudes.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I didn't think about until now, can I probe it a little bit? I'm nervous. This is more of a collar than a necklace.
Yeah.
Okay, now that you're looking at it from that angle, you're convinced that's true. It's you don't think that it is designed to be, but you've been around and you think that just the magnitude of power that this represents is going to change the user more than more than the user would change things with it.
Oh, she's mad. She's really mad.
Oh, I'd forgotten completely about that item. Do you reckon? Do you reckon that? And I've been asking around about it a little bit. I haven't heard back. Do you reckon maybe that was the point? You wanted to get that into your hands.
Mm-hmm. I am not one
Wait.
to be bound. Guess I'm paying 2 people a visit today.
That was payment for the assassination of the.
Oh, payment, but for control. It's a collar, not a necklace.
Good thing that no one put it on.
Oh, yes. I think you would have just clashed with your outfit terribly.
Nothing goes with plate mail. What can I say?
Daggers, straight daggers, stare at daggers. Over to Dorian, 100%.
He just smiles, raises his glass.
Yeah. And on that, do we want to take a short break and resume in a few minutes?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm just looking up photographs of 25-year-old Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes. A worthy cause. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, there will be more stuff. We will see you shortly. Greetings, greetings, humanity. We have returned. And I guess we're going to talk about some things.
I guess we are. Okay, so has everyone come to a consensus about what they want to do? And is that do people want to do things together? What's going on now that you've kind of shared your information? I guess is my question.
I wanted to inform them of one more thing. I did not, just perused that dagger. I've not studied it, and it's not a plant, so, but I'm pretty certain that it has a true name, that dagger. I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure that it has one, which, that has some implications, it has some implications, one of which is that it can be summoned by its owner.
Interesting.
Wait, does that work backwards? Does any item that can be summoned by its owner have a true name?
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but I do know if you know the true name of a person or a thing, and, well, you can summon it. Now, if it doesn't have the ability to teleport, like some objects might have the ability to teleport,
Well, yes, like this, and Ladine's dagger just like drifts up independent of her, like zooms across the room, and just like hangs there in the air.
Yes. If it doesn't have the ability to move on its own, well, then I suppose it can't. But I think my point here is I have a little bit of concern about this dagger being about. I don't know how much it hears or how much it remembers, if it does or not. I actually don't know all of its capabilities, but it does have a true name, which means anyone who knows that true name might, be able to call it home, or yes.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
sorry. Are you saying that it could be listening in?
Well, I don't know if it's sentient. If it is sentient, then yes, indeed. Now that doesn't mean whoever owns it would be able to listen in, but it itself. I mean, for example, Herbie. Herbie knows what I'm saying and knows what we have a cool conversation, Herbie and I, and Herbie? Oh, sorry. And well, Herbie, he just, he can show up whenever he wishes, and he could go somewhere. I mean, he's actually quite mobile. These daggers don't seem to be, but I don't know if secretly they're listening or if they're not listening. I don't know if they are or not. But well, I don't know. I don't know how capable these daggers are. But
so
researching
that
as a true name, it could be called
might be useful and time-consuming.
Yes. It does not seem as if it can teleport, but perhaps you could put it in a locked box or something like that.
Well, I mean, it had been. That didn't really stop Scythe, did it?
Well,
yes.
The best way to stop me from taking an interest would be to display it prominently on a pillow somewhere.
Clearly, this object is not important. It's way too accessible.
Right. Exactly. Why would I be interested?
I just wanted to warn you all that maybe, it might want to go traveling about or something.
Levity aside, Myrthine, it is a point well made. Should we be taking a precaution?
Well,
I could go steal the box that it was stored in.
Oh, well, I mean, I just think that it should probably be placed in some sort of our own box of some sort, perhaps.
Does anyone have a box for a magical dagger with the true name?
Atropos, you've looked at this thing more than anyone.
Yes.
Do you think it could be sort of cut off from whoever is, I don't know, true naming it.
Would I know if there's any way to at least like dampen it or?
Definitely. And the best way that you know to do that is to keep it in your domain. It would definitely dampen it, and it would make it significantly more difficult for anyone to summon it.
Okay. I will just say, the best place for it is probably back home. It would make it very, very difficult for them to do anything. They'd probably just have to find the place, and that in itself is a feat.
Then
I mean,
if no one objects, please take it.
Although, again, perhaps divining rod. I don't know. You two, you and Dorian and Atropos, you two are such. You have such a dynamic with each other. I imagine that one of you would be able to perhaps use it as a sympathetic resonance to find the others. I mean, I know you both seem to have such a competition thing going about those things. I imagine one of you two could.
I can say for myself that location spells are rather tricky. It's not it's not the easiest thing to try to throw together. And imagine as this is, I believe this would be something more in your wheelhouse.
Yes, anything too difficult, I fully understand, gets put on my shoulders. It's fine. I can do it.
You're so good at it.
Is that 1 point for Atropos? What is the score right now? I do forget. Is it 7-5 or? Oh.
Atropos, master of the Umbra and passive aggression.
I think Atropos is winning.
So it is okay. So that's 8-5 now. I will make.
Yes,
my
but
note.
the special thing here though is that Dorian is playing to lose. Remember, he doesn't want the responsibility.
Oh.
Ladin whispers this to Merdine at the.
And Merdine pulled out a small little notebook and it was like, then doesn't actually quite know how to annotate this now. It's like, puts the little notebook away. Yes, you're right.
Atropos will put it back into her cloak and she'll just say, I'll look about figuring out a way to see it as a calling card, but for now, because I don't want to be on red alert when I'm going to do something dangerous, I'll take it back home.
I thought we might go visit Lord Lucian. Perhaps he knows everything, and perhaps he might know something about Tamsin.
Oh, then we definitely need to take it back home.
Why else would you want to subject yourself to Lucian?
You've been spending an awful lot of time working for him. Are you sure you're getting enough rest?
Well, I don't always have to sleep that often. I'm still quite young. I'm still full of vim and vigor.
Burnout can happen to anyone at any age. Just be careful.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Perhaps I missed a thing. You're in Lucian's employ.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. He just mentions that there's some interesting plants in places in different parts of the multiverse, and then I go and I find them, and of course, he told me where it was. I give
That's
copies.
Functionally the same as being in his employ, I'm afraid. Oh my.
Yes, but if you
goodness.
were properly in his employ, then Medine would be getting paid significantly more.
Now, he prefers to avoid that sort of thing.
Yes.
I should simply. Obviously, you can do what you like, but I should warn you: there are certain mazes you should never wander into.
A hedge maze? I love those.
Well, yes, I know. It's I do not believe that this is the sort of gentleman one just goes around trusting.
He seems so pleasant.
Yes, that's one of his great abilities, to seem rather pleasant. But I fear he's got rather a complicated mask going.
But he knows the location of the golden clover of the 15th sail. He hasn't told me yet, though.
And
He said he would.
what is he making you pay to get that information?
Oh, nothing. He just hasn't given it to me yet. But I do, of course, find other flowers for him. When,
And just how long has he not told you about the location of the golden clover of the whatever?
15th sail.
15th sail, thank you.
200 and so years, I think.
Right. Okay. I do tend to liberate things from people that own them. However, I really, really, really hate it when people steal from me. And stealing from one of my friends is tantamount to stealing from me. I think I supervise you.
Well,
So
yeah.
I feel like all of us may be on the same page here when we are perhaps less than inclined to go speak with Lucian. However, he may also be the only person we collectively can think of who may have any idea what we're dealing with.
he does know a
Is
lot
it worth the
about...
price, though? I think that's an important question.
Yes.
Charge me a thing.
I think Atropos will notice probably something, and that is that, and maybe no one else notices this, but this is something Atropos might notice for reasons that Dorian is starting to, he's not showing it much, but he is starting to get a little tense in a way that he rarely ever does. Possibly he got near it when he was being, in times when he's been honest with you about things.
Oh. You're not Lucian's son, are you?
Me?
Heavens, I hope
No.
not.
Heavens, no. Wait,
are y'all even the same species?
Well, I don't know. Wait, you mean Dorian and I?
No, sorry, Dorian and Lucian.
Oh, I don't know.
And again, specifically, I don't know if anyone else knows. I know Atropos would notice.
Sure.
Yeah, Dorian says,
Murthine does not notice.
I don't think... I believe Lucian is his own species. He's rather unique in the multiverse.
He knows
like
more
that.
about the Grand Stair than anyone, and if there's some way to track down Tamsin or have heard about it, I'm sure he would know. And he and I have such a collegial relationship. I'm sure if we could find him, I'm sure he wouldn't mind. And we could show him the tiger roses. That's new. I bet he's up to one of those. I'm sure he'd love to see it.
Kindly, Murthine, maybe keep the tiger roses to yourself. I imagine that Lucian has plenty of ways to spy on people. It might be better not to give him 1,001st. Just as a tip.
I was going to just...
too. Oh.
Said if I ever found any tiger roses, or I should definitely share it with him. That he would love to have a copy, an ability to know them.
Atropos right.
He asked you for tiger roses, specifically for tiger roses.
Yes. He doesn't have one in his collection yet.
Dorian's right. How long?
What?
How long ago did he ask you for the tiger roses?
Oh, I don't remember. It's quite some time. I've got a whole list of things he found we'd find interesting. We talk all the time. Over tea.
Curious.
Ladine just looks around the table and she doesn't say anything, but you could see it on everyone's faces where it's like, oh, this guy. Oh, this guy.
As they're talking, I think that Atropos has gone up to like whatever the mini bar that we
Yes.
have set up, is making 2 glasses, and then she'll kind of stride towards Dorian, handing one.
Nice.
It's not necessarily alcohol, much to Dorian's chagrin. It is like a calming tonic.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, he'll just basically he'll nod and accept it. And, while they're
Fine.
talking, he's just like.
Side note, Lucian would totally in canon spy on people all the time.
Oh,
using
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Which is why we're
Yeah.
why we should not give these to him.
Yeah, perhaps not.
So where are we landing? I know that Atropos has a couple of things she wants to do in Celix, which I think we could definitely take care of before we wrap up tonight. We can also, whoever wants to talk to Lucian, we can.
Wrong game.
We could do that. We could do that next week. But let me put it this way: well, if you all don't want to go, I'm sure I could just go by myself.
No.
No.
My goodness. My dear chap, no. If you, if you're dead set on it, I suppose I can accompany you.
You don't have to go if you don't want to.
Perhaps
Can tell him no. That said, I would feel better if I went with you. You never know if it's going to be dangerous, and I would feel better knowing you had a bodyguard.
Well, we could go to Celix first, and then Celix, and then after Celix. I mean, after all, there might be some sort of gala or something, and then we could all have a lovely party on the stairs. It's been a while.
Wouldn't that be nice? I actually should probably ask someone about that. I hadn't heard much about a party, about a stair party, but it's been quite some time. There's someone I need to contact about that. Yes, quite. We can see if that'll happen.
We can all go with you, Atropos. We wouldn't want you to go by yourself, especially if they're trying to trap you in some way.
They can certainly try.
If they try, I'll tell them to leave you alone, because you're my friend. So they're not allowed.
I wouldn't mind having people around, but it might give away things too early to the people we don't want to know, should everyone show up at the same time.
Well, I can always show up and not show up, as it were.
If everyone has things that they're doing, just keep an ear open.
Yeah, I
True.
think that can be arranged.
And I will remind you, you all do have ways to easily communicate with each other. So
True.
So do we want to do that?
With you then.
Do
Yeah.
we want to do the everyone going to Celix bit? Okay. So yeah, if that's the case, not a problem. There are in fact multiple doors to Celix. But Merthine, you, if you wanted to, if I recall correctly, you can show up kind of anywhere, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
how do we want to do that is my question.
Well, I'll just send a message to Lord Lucian to let him know that we wish to have an audience with him sometime soon. That I found some that we have an audience for him.
Much better, yes.
And once I've sent that message off, then I will find a door. And like they go over to where that bower is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can sort of like 1 minute and like go through this little bit through this. I just go through hedgerows all the time. Any sort of plants, I'm always going to find a way through them. And then we end up always somewhere else in a plant somewhere. And I know that these are not the official doors, but I love it. This way, though, we go not where we're expected. Surprise.
So do you in fact come out in some part of the hedge maze?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, which means that all of you could follow Merthine through the door he creates and be entirely undetected. At least visually, it is possible, as you all know, that someone of certain sensitivities can detect beings of power showing up in their world, and you are all 5 of you are that. So that's definitely a possibility.
We all came together.
I know. Yeah, you are kind of so if there are people here that can notice that. Now, again, all of you have been looking into Celix, and to the best of your knowledge, there's no one here natively that that is likely to be able to do that. So you're probably pretty safe on that front. And I will say that your arrival doesn't appear to have, through all of the senses and all of the abilities all of you have to figure stuff out, you don't believe that it has like caused any ripples that anyone would be able to pick up on.
It seems it was better to take our own door than take one of the official ones, so there might be somebody waiting for us.
Yes, and that is a good point, because Celix definitely is a place that knows about the doors. So the ones that get commonly used are, or at least, you know, they are watched, if not guarded. Some of them are guarded. Because at least one of them is actually in the palace, which is not great for them. Although it's good if they're going out, not so good if they're coming in. Anyway, so what is everyone doing once you arrive?
Well, I'll shapeshift into a form that doesn't look like the one that stole their dagger.
Fair point. That seems like a good call. And we can determine what that is that you look like later, maybe, if you want, or if you have.
Just look like a regular citizen.
Okay,
I look like the most average kind of middle class person that I can conceive of in my imagination.
Okay, Celix is a lot like Renaissance France, meaning that it's easy enough, and you saw enough of different levels of society while you were at the ball to home in on whatever you want to project. So no problem on that.
Cool.
All right, so I think we need to cut to Atropos next, because this is kind of your trip. So what's up with you?
So Atropos is, at first at least, changing into the form of a raven.
Nice.
Because she needs to get close to the nephew.
Okay.
Preferably while he's alone. So she's just going to start flying. I feel like Atropos would have a slight ping off of people that are necessarily near death or are sources of it. And she's probably trying to fly to where that points.
The sense you get about Nasir is that he is, it's not that he's near death, it's just that death is almost always looking over his shoulder. So yeah, you're flying.
He's a magnet.
Yes. So you're flying off in search of him. So I will get back to you when you find him. Let's see. Let's do Laudine. Are you sticking with Merdine, or what is your plan?
Yeah. I'll stick with Merdine for now. I had half a tangent idea of seeing what the guards like training area looks like, or like if they have a standing army, or like going to check out if they have like defenses or offenses, or like what kind of manpower they could throw if they needed to.
I'm happy to follow you, Dame Laudine. I don't mind.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Just so Merdine doesn't wander off and get lost.
Ooh.
Yeah, and here's the problem: the gardens are gorgeous, so that's always a possibility. All right, so that leads us with Dorian. What are you doing while you're on your little sojourn in Celix?
So, first off, before going in, he is going to need to tell his. He's going to work with his watch a little bit, and he's going to just sort of do a few things where he's going to have it swap out some of the swap out some spells and adjust them. And so the watch does it for him. So it basically pulls some of the spells he has hanging in the Eidolon into it and swap them out with a couple that he's got in there. He's got one slot open in there already, so that's going to bend, but I'm going to need to go back and just rearrange them. so that he doesn't have to stoop to using linchpins.
Yeah.
But
like a peasant.
Like a peasant. Just using linchpins in your spells like a barbarian.
Like the king of chaos.
Yeah.
Bold of you to assume barbarians use spells.
There are a few. But
yes.
The but so to try to because he's now just basically like mostly he's working on like anti-Lucian things that he needs to get into place.
Oh yeah.
But I also
so pleasant, that Lucian.
But as far as actually doing stuff in Celix, it's Celix, yes, right, okay.
It is.
Dorian has many qualities, but the ability to be inconspicuous is not one of them. So I think that this is going to be he's going to have to basically have an excuse to show up, and I think the excuse will be that he has heard through the grapevine that the nephew was having a little trouble afterwards, and also this is the sort of post-party sort of a post-party thank you visit.
That's nice.
That will require him to get like another bottle of wine from somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. One must bring a gift. Yes.
If we're leaving right from here, then he's just going to try to see if he can have it. See if he can get one sent to him in some fashion.
You can. Definitely can.
Or something. Hey, I know a whole bunch of functional drunk spellcasters, so I'm sure one of them will be able to send me something cool. And
that's most of your contact network. Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of them. And so he'll basically have that to something that you can't get on this world.
Absolutely. Love it.
So basically, it'll be. Maybe he'll go crazy and grab something from Earth, but so he's going to be providing. I think he's going to provide a distraction. I think that's going to be his job.
I like that. Okay.
While here, so while everyone else is doing what they need to do.
I love the sound of that. Okay.
And just basically lets them know to keep his, to keep his icon handy in case they need to, they need to let him know anything, or send quiet directions to him about things they need help with.
Absolutely.
Nadine would like to go to the official door within the Duchess's estates, though, at some point. Just with Dame Laudine, of course. When she's done, I'd like to have a glance at it.
Okay. And let's see. So, Scythe, you are there, but not there?
I'm being inconspicuous in that I'm not at the palace at all. I'm checking out the black market.
Oh, you're in the town.
Yeah, I'm trying to determine, because usually if you've got like a whole bunch of off-world goods coming in, clearly the ruling bodies are going to want to tightly control that.
Nice.
But, the more you tightly control things, the more star systems will slip through your fingers,
right.
as we all know. So, and the more I come and steal your dagger. So
sure.
I bet there's some things that have slipped through, and I want to see what kinds of things are being sold on.
Not a problem. All right, so I think we're gonna go back to Atropos, but I'll make the rounds to check back on each of you with your other things. So Atropos, you have found Nasir. He is what's he doing? Okay. He is by himself in a corner of one of the smaller courtyards. He is Okay, this is the kind of place where even your workout clothes are expensive and fancy, at least if you're the prince. So like what he's wearing is in fact, it's something that's easy to move around in, but it's also padded. It's the sort of thing that you would wear if you were in fact practicing swordplay. But right now he's practicing it against a just a regular practice dummy. And let me double check this. Oh yeah, your warfare is good enough um, to like have an eye on about what he's doing, and he's good. He's not he's not quite ranked good, but he's in game terms he's definitely on the upper reaches of Paragon and might be approaching putting some numbers on that warfare stat. He is you get the sense that this is a combination of extensive training, but also a non-zero amount of just natural talent. A few other things you can tell about him. You also sense that he is not a world walker like the five of you, but you sense the potential within him. He is again, you are not a sorcerer, but you can detect magic when it's been applied to something or someone, just like you did with the dagger, for example. And he has had multiple spells cast upon him. You're certain he didn't do it. You think someone else did. And from here, your eye for this isn't as good as Dorian's, but you generally know what you're looking at. You feel like they are your sort of your general protection spells that you would cast on someone. But yeah, other than that, he is by himself, and you feel like if anyone was hiding or lurking, you would spot them, and if that is not the case, then you have a bigger problem. So as far as you can tell, he's alone and doing a remarkably good job of attacking this practice dummy.
So I think if we're in this corner of like a training yard, I'm assuming there's some sort of greenery nearby.
Yeah.
So I think that the Raven will kind of dive towards the greenery, and she'll just kind of emerge, like hoping that he's very fixated on his training. And then as soon as he makes an attack, she's just going to say, a little slow on your left ear.
He does not drop his sword, but he does stumble due to the surprise. And he turns towards you slowly and gradually and keeps the sword down at his side as opposed to pointing it at you. And he says, "Weren't you a bird just a second ago?"
I have many forms, but yes.
Well, I am Nasir, but I suspect you know that.
I've had my eye on you for a while. I'm
His eyes get wide.
rather curious. You've been able to evade many things. Fascinating.
Whom do I have the pleasure of addressing?
I have many names. And she's just kind of walking, not invading space, not very much like it, like sauntering, like slowly looking at the different equipment. Very much making it seem as though she's does not see him as a threat.
You can tell from his body language that he is responding to your body language, but he's also shifting his weight just in case this goes badly.
But you can call me Atropos.
Then I shall do so.
I think you need to be wary of those in charge of your how do I say it? And she'll just kind of like sit down on a little bench, kind of flounce a little bit. You should be wary of people that you don't normally see.
Ah.
They go invisible, they are around. Things happen with their abilities, and yet most people pay them no mind.
Hmm. Troubling yet cryptic advice.
Well, a being such as myself, unfortunately for you, is drawn towards people like you.
Hmm. Dashingly handsome?
Good try, good try. You have a penchant towards the daring, I can assume, and death seems to accompany you where you go.
Yes, so far it hasn't afflicted me, but I've noticed that those around me are not so lucky.
It has its eye on you, or rather,
Hmm.
I do. She'll just like cross one of her legs and just say, but I think there's a way that we can help each other.
Hmm. So you're saying it's not my time now?
Well, if I have any say in it.
I begin to sense that you do. All right then. What do you propose? He sheathes his sword.
I think that if you can keep an ear out uh, for any visitors here, people that potentially had planted those beautiful new flowers.
Ah, the ones we have trouble remembering.
This has piqued her curiosity. And there is like a flash of like, so you can remember the non-remembrance. Fascinating.
Not well. I I think it's my turn to be cryptic. I can remember that I can't remember them.
Um, if I go up to him, can I sense like, is the magic clouding his memory
Ah.
have umbra in nature, something I could take apart?
Oh, interesting. That is a good question. Um, yeah. Okay. Uh, you sense that the memory trick has two parts. One comes from the person that is being forgotten, and the other comes from the person doing the forgetting. And you think you could release his part of it, thus making him remember. You can't see enough details, but you believe you could make him able to remember some of it, but not necessarily the whole thing. It would open up some part of it, yes.
Okay. I would like to do that.
Okay, and it's actually a relatively simple process. What does it look like when you do that?
I think that she will go up to him and I think she would even allow him to see how she does it.
Okay.
But there are a bunch of these different threads, and she slowly begins unweaving the threads that have been tied in a way to hide that memory, that one piece that I have,
Okay.
until they're very neatly done, and then she strums the threads
Nice.
to enact it.
He gets because you're explaining it, he remains still. Again, you can tell that he's ready to like punch you if something goes wrong, but it's a matter of training, not temperament. And so he remains actually remarkably still through the whole thing. And then his knees buckle a little bit, and he gets woozy when you do the strum, and he says, "Well, that's different."
She'll catch him actually.
Okay. I sense it's on the tip of my tongue now. Thank you. How may I repay you for this gift?
We'll see.
I accept. And we'll get back to you, but I think we need to cut to Scythe in town.
Oh yeah.
It's a port city. It backs up against a large inland sea, and which means there's a lot of trade. There's a lot of actual just regular domestic within world trade. And you've got an eye for this. You can tell that there are things being brought in from other countries, other kingdoms, as well as within this kingdom.
Right.
But what you're looking for is something a bit more specialized. And you definitely actually right off the bat you find the occasional trinket or two that's definitely from off-world. And through that, you're able to kind of work your way after a fair amount of time towards the bigger things. So what you've found at this point is someone dealing in metals. There are a few. Okay, what you've found is a blacksmith shop, but the stuff that you're looking for is in the back room of the back room.
Interesting.
And really, what you find is you find people that would not normally be frequenting a blacksmith shop, working their way into the less well-known areas.
Oh, well,
so
that
you
interests me.
Yeah. So you managed to follow one of them, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay. Now how are you doing the observation from this point?
Well, at this point, I might need to change into something less conspicuous.
Okay.
Are we dealing with like the laws of conservation of matter here?
Roughly,
with our shape-shifting? Yeah. Okay, all right.
Although your friend did turn into a bird, so not drastically.
Right.
Didn't turn into a 5-foot bird.
What's the dog and or cat situation?
Oh yeah, yeah. You could do you could do a dog.
Okay, all right. I'll be a dog.
Okay, like a decent sized dog.
And I'll look like maybe I came in with one of the customers.
Sure. Yeah.
They don't
that works fine. So what you hear is a negotiation. You've been on both sides of this kind of thing 1,000 times. And eventually what you get, they make a deal, and one of them leaves with actually what one of them leaves with is not a weapon, but just an ingot of a dark gray metal that your senses
metal. Great.
Yeah, your senses already tell you that this is not from here. It's from another world. Now the blacksmith is also selling some weapons that are clearly not from here. And again, just some raw materials like that ingot.
Does it have any hint of Umbra or Eidolon about it?
Not the one that the person just walked out with, but
Mhm.
you've got another one that definitely came from an Umbra heavy world.
Huh. Weird. Okay. All right.
And just you can tell it does not naturally occur here. It
Mhm.
is and it would be elemental. It's a metal, not an alloy.
I see. That's really interesting. Okay. All right. I'll make some notes. Do I might follow that ingot out because that to
Okay.
me seems really interesting.
Good call. So
Yeah.
you catch up with the buyer, and as a dog, not hard to do.
Right.
And until you get to a guild hall, in which it's
Mhm.
going to be a little harder to walk in as a dog. Not
Okay.
impossible. Doors
right.
open. You can just,
I'm gonna I'm
but
gonna see if they'll let me in. But
okay,
if
actually,
they kick me out, I'll be a person again.
okay, fair enough. You get pretty far in before anyone even notices a dog has entered.
Yay.
And let's see. The guild hall is it's the actually it's what am I trying to say? Sorry, a Carter's Guild. So they are in fact you have no reason to they a Carter's Guild doesn't have any use for weird metals.
Okay.
But through various shape shiftings and just honestly generally hiding behind things when you need to, you find your way into
the classic.
Yeah, you find your way into what is clearly the headquarters of an actual secret society.
Oh, great.
And the secret society, like you could like you don't have a problem translating the language. The stairs doing that for you. Unfortunately, they're it's not even that they're talking in code, it's just they're talking in jargon. So you don't know exactly what they're talking about. But you do
Metal
know
bros.
you do know yes, you do know that the acquisition of this metal is a big deal. And they are planning they plan to make weapons out of it. You're not sure what kind, but you suspect it might be arrowheads.
Here's something. Now I can detect weaknesses in things.
Yes, you are quite good at that.
Would this type of metal be good for arrowheads or any other things specifically?
Actually, it's quite good for arrowheads. And also, you've been around this world long enough to know that arrowheads made out of this metal would do a really good job of piercing the armor that's common around here.
Oh, okay. Noted. That's really interesting. Does the secret society have like a convenient symbol festoon? Oh, they do.
100%.
Great. I'll make a note of the symbol festooning their secret guild hall.
Okay, you have enough information to appear as a member of this guild, of this secret society at some point.
Excellent.
Should you wish to do so.
Do they have a secret handshake or something?
They do. In fact, you observe it because that's how they that's how they do it. Yep.
Good deal. All right. All right.
So you got it in here. All right. Yeah. Also, please make a note of that so I do not forget. But yes, you have that.
Gotcha.
And let's see. I think we need to cut to Murthine and Laudine. What are y'all up to?
Okay. Laudine was going to go to check out the guards or like.
That's right. I need to give you that information. Okay, so I will do that really quickly. Yeah, they are. They've got a decent military here. So it's definitely the sort of military that. Okay, it's broken up into different factions. You've already met the palace guard. That was a few days ago. You know them to
We met
be.
them.
You met them. You met the heck out of them. You know them to be competent. Then there is, in fact, a standing army and a sizable navy. Given the fact that this is an inland sea, not an ocean, you get the sense that first off, there was an actual ducal navy patrolling the shores. They then on top of that, they yeah, you learned a fair amount about the yeah, you did. You actually learned a fair amount about the surrounding duchies and counties and things like that. So you feel like if they wanted to, they could probably take one of those over. It'd cost them. Actually, let me rephrase that. You think they could take one over? Occupying it would be the hard part. They've got enough to do the initial invasion of whatever. But you're not certain that they would have enough to hold it, unless, of course, they had some assistance from the king, or in this case, sorry, the queen. But yeah, militarily, the presence isn't overt. There's also a town guard that ultimately answers to the Duke and Duchess as well. It's that deal where, you know, the palace is here, but they own the land the town is in.
Yeah.
So pretty much anyone, the Duke and Duchess are definitely they have the monopoly on organized violence around here.
Yep. I'm going to keep an eye on the town guard for a minute or two.
Okay.
Does it look like they are competent, and are the people frightened of them?
Yeah.
They are definitely competent. The people are,
Like, if they see guards coming down the street, does everyone like scramble for cover?
not everyone. Just people like your friend Scythe.
Okay, but she scrambles for cover if she sees anyone coming down the street.
That is
But
fair.
okay, but you get a sense of what kind of guard it is by the sorts of people that do react like that way. So, your average merchant or regular townsperson, they get out of the way when they're coming through, but they don't seem to be oppressed or cowed by them.
Okay. Do I see any overt bribes?
Oh, that is a good question. Not many, but you do see some.
Okay.
It definitely happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's a really comprehensive view of the town guard.
Yeah, you got a great idea. Oh, and I'll give you a third thing. The palace guard is definitely in the midst of an investigation right now. And the town guard is not as involved, but you get the sense that they have been asking questions too.
Is this the one that the Duchess told me about?
It is.
Okay. And for the rest of the party, because Ladin said this at the powwow, that there was an assassination attempt on on Nasir, and so
Again.
they are, yeah, not the one where they tried to summon the Harbinger of Death to kill him, but a completely different one.
Yeah.
Solution to a.
Right.
Okay. And Mervine, you were wanting to look at the door.
Yes, well, once Dame Laudine brings me, I thought we should mosey together. Turns out, I'm a bit of I know doors quite well, and this is the sort of official one in the palace. Do you mind just making sure I have a little bit of quiet and concentration, Dame Laudine? Do you mind?
Of course, I'll keep an eye out over here, and I'll let you know if anyone's coming.
And on the plus side, Dorian is currently entertaining the Duchess and possibly some other people, so keeping them out of wherever you are.
I am on watch.
Place my hand on the door.
Okay.
Place my hand there.
What are you trying to find out about it? What are your questions?
First, I just want to say hello. You don't just rush the door like that. But as a master of the Grand Stair, I would just like to. One thing I can do is I have the post-cognition ability, in that by listening carefully to the door, I'm able to find out when the last time it was used. I can sense if it has been used recently, how recently, and then I can get some information about who might have come through, like, for example, the identity of someone who passed through recently, or someone else was with them,
For example, yes.
Yes, also, if it was opened from the Grand Stair or from elsewhere, for example.
The last time it was used was for someone to come into this world. It was from the Grand Stair. And at first you get an image of a rather slim woman. She's got from Earth. If we're using Earth references, you would guess that she appears to be South Asian. In her sort of general, yeah, just sort of her general entire shape and coloration is how she comes off. So, however, she does have slightly pointed ears. And her canine teeth are a bit longer than average, not vampire long, maybe more like a cat. And her eyes are a brilliant shade of rosy gold. Other than that, they have like regular looking irises and whites of the eyes. But those are the things that you are able to figure out about her quickly. What other information does it give you? Does it give you a name or just a description?
Well, it says that would depend on how powerful the psyche of I am.
Well, your psyche's pretty damn good. So
yes, because the more powerful my psyche, the more information will be provided, which could be as specific as the identity of someone who passed through, that sort of thing.
Right, because etc. Among your group here, you're tied for first in psyche. So let's see. Oh, and by the way, if any of you have been looking at the NPCs who are listed in the core book, and you are welcome to look at them, the numbers on their sheets are not necessarily the same numbers that are in the books. I'm using their relative strength to compare to your relative strength. Now, if you find the guy that's really good at warfare, he's still going to be extraordinarily good at warfare. But if you have any questions about any of them, feel free to ask. Like, Lucian's stuff is generally what it looks like he does have incredibly high psyche, etc. But the numbers are not necessarily the same. However, they're all probably like a lot better at those things than you are, just FYI, but just wanted to let you know. One of the reasons that it's not a huge problem to read some of the NPC stuff is a lot of the ones that are in the book are people that are known by reputation to be good at whatever those things are. All right, so getting back to this, yeah, I think you've got an identity on this.
What is this?
Let me make sure I get the name right.
And when was it?
Oh, I apologize. I should have said that first. about 2 weeks before all of you were here last. So 2 weeks before that party.
Plenty of time to plant some flowers.
Indeed. Here we go. Hang on. I'm going to. The name that you get is Naida Kataris, and I'm going to throw that in the chat so you can see how I spelled it. And
right.
you get
almost.
So that's the name that you get. I'm trying to think what else. You get an identity, you get a name.
If they came with someone, when they came.
She was alone. And she was dressed in fine garments, but things that definitely did not look like they were from this world. The fashions were definitely not of. She didn't dress herself to look like someone from Celix. What she was wearing was a lot of actually various shades of white, off-white, and gold, and a whole lot of just sort of flowing gowns with like sleeves that were much longer than are practical, and
I'm totally hero forging this.
And
by the way, Merthine is muttering this out loud so that Nadine can hear it, which is of course because he's not like necessarily telling her. I mean, he is, but he's more like, it's just sort of like speaking out loud, you know.
Okay. So she would definitely pick up on this, and she'd stop Merthine when he says 2 weeks, or like 2 weeks before the party, and just ask, "Are you quite certain of that?"
Oh, certainly. The door told me. Absolutely.
For when I spoke to the Duchess, her Major Domo's records claimed that she's had those flowers, the special ones, for 9 months.
Well, that's interesting. I assume she did not have the flowers with her when she was walking through this last time.
She did not, but the door will tell you if she's been through it before.
Yes, has she?
She has.
She's been here.
Guess how long?
Could I get? Would it be 9 months?
Yes, nailed it.
Yeah. One moment, dear door, and it's the wood. I love wood. One other thing that as a person who is a master of the Grand Stair, I can tell if any given door, capital D door, was created by either the Grand Stair itself or by another master of the Grand Stair. Was this created by the Grand Stair, or was it created by someone else?
This was created by the Grand Stair.
Oh, good. If you don't mind, I just need a little bit more time. And you can see Merthine just sort of whispers to the stair a little bit, like a little murmuring, like it's like a friend of his, and stroking it a little bit. I think it's, would you do me a favor, dear stair, dear door? If she comes back, would you let me know? Please, it would be lovely if you would.
You get a shiver of acknowledgement from the door.
Oh, thank you. Aww. And I'm warding this door so that if she comes through, I will be alerted.
You will know immediately. Yes.
I will know immediately.
Quite good.
Thank you.
And if there's nothing else, I think we need to cut over to Dorian. And the Duchess is saying, yes, tell us again about the tiger and the rose.
Yes, of course. And Dorian, I think, has turned up in as soon as he got to this world. He again used the Eidolon to shift his clothing to something that would be more perfect for his type of person in this world.
Yep.
And he has been. I think one of the people he kind of feels like he needs to help distract is the Seneschal because of what's been going on. So he's sort of been trying to.
You can arrange it so that the Seneschal is here. That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
essentially, it's just like this gift is kind of one of the gifts he has brought.
Nice.
He got a picnic basket. He had basically he didn't have that spell in his in his watch right now, so he had to use linchpins like a barbarian.
Yes,
but
this shows how dedicated he is to providing a distraction. That's good.
But so that he has multiple gifts basically, and one of them is for the seneschal.
Okay. That's not a problem. You can we can cut to the point where you and the seneschal, and I think unless you have requested that it's just the two of them, you could also have a few other courtiers in the room, just being fascinated by your tales and general charm.
Yeah, and I mean, and he's happy to distract the Duchess as well, but.
Oh, yeah.
But I whispered the name Naida Kataris to Dorian in case. In case. I said, that is the one who came. Because he's now with most likely the Major Domo, the Seneschal, the Duchess, all sorts of people. And I figured that perhaps that is someone who might need to know the name in case they want to do whatever it is that Dorian does with names.
Interesting. Yes. So yeah, he can try to parlay that into a thing. He has sort of been trying to subtly get information, but nothing,
Okay.
But at the same time, while he's doing this, mostly he's a distraction. Has he been talking about a rose and a duchess or something? a rose and a tiger?
Apparently, yes. Apparently, there was a fascinating story that perhaps coincidentally or perhaps not involved an actual tiger and an actual rose.
Okay. Yes. No. So yeah, he's happy to talk about a circus act, essentially, that he got to witness.
I love it. Okay.
Back home, and he'll embellish basically as he's just talking about this. Is essentially there's this, and it was like a thing where they were sort of telling a story, and where this very very skilled lady who was essentially riding a tiger while with a rose in her teeth, essentially, and it was and it was sort of almost a dance because there was another acrobat. Also, and they were trading the rose back and forth as they were taking turns, ostensibly seeming to run from the tiger, and
right.
to work with it. Essentially, I mean, when I say acrobat, it's probably they were probably both animal trainers, and so and so essentially he talks about that act and sort of the story they were telling. And all of that. I don't think he's gonna necessarily drop the name Naida Kataris.
Okay.
But if it gets to a point in the conversation, sort of after that, where they start talking about people they might know or people he didn't quite get to see, from recent party, and it's like a thing where it's like there was someone I heard was going to be here or had been here, and sort of hint around and see if he can get them to say the name or to see who says the name, and kind of do that sort of thing.
Interestingly, no one says the name, but what you get is both by description, and definitely by action and reputation, that's who they're talking about. But the problem that you have is that each of them is almost like grasping a different part of that encounter and having to remind the others of what they saw. But you do get information from the Major Domo. And she says, because she has the book, that they have proffered an invitation to, they've proffered an invitation to the King of Tamsin himself, but the king has not visited. So they expect that the envoy will in fact attend their next gala.
Oh. Oh.
And you can find out when that is, and also, obviously they've already given you an invitation.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Good. Obviously, and sort of asked, is it possible to ask? Do they happen to know the name of the envoy? Do I know them? That kind of thing.
Oh yeah. So the Seneschal, not the Seneschal, sorry, Major Domo has to look it up in the book, and the name that she gives you is not Naida Kataris.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I think that, and yeah, you don't have to give that to me right now, but
yeah, we'll figure it out. But it is definitely a different name. However, you are certain you're certain that that's who they're talking about.
Okay.
It's just that is not the name that she gave them that they wrote in the book.
Okay. And the way that he's kind of also occasionally trying to see what the Seneschal knows. Also, was the Seneschal also having trouble remembering a name?
Oh yes. In fact, among the the Seneschal was having probably more memory problems than most.
Interesting.
Regarding her.
Okay. That is interesting. Okay. So yeah, this is mostly then going to be just, talking about people we know in common, that sort of thing, or as far as, travelers go. But then also, I think the thing that I was planning to distract the Seneschal with might not be as necessary now, but was just sort of like, because folks know that he does arcane stuff. He has interest in the arcane.
Yes.
And he's going to sort of talk about how folks have trouble around, that he's seen have trouble around banishing rituals, and he sort of wondered if maybe he or anyone else had heard anything about sort of better ways of doing that kind of thing.
Well, okay. So the Seneschal lets you know that he is interested in having this conversation, just not right here.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, we don't have to go into it. Because it's like, it's, every now and then, and it's probably something he makes at least look as though it's just sort of asks on a whim, because it's like, you seem to know things.
Yes,
but
you have, but obviously when you start talking about magic and stuff, you have piqued the Seneschal's interest, but you also get the sense that the Seneschal doesn't want other people to know that he's that interested in it.
Oh, okay. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely no problem with that. And he'll just basically essentially continue to regale folks and amuse them, and essentially at some point, is Merdine holding the link open while this is happening? Okay, so you can hear this conversation that Dorian is having.
Little bits of muttering from Merdine.
And
just the occasional,
At some point, simultaneously again, because Dorian strangely can multitask, he will sort of let you know more specifically. Well, you've heard the conversation, so you actually have heard this, but he'll kind of point out the interesting and important thing that the Major Domo's given him a different name. But that he thinks, but he'll just sort of point up at different points in the conversation that you're hearing. It's like, could be that, and that could all refer to Naida Kataris. This person, this envoy, could be Naida Kataris, but could be someone else because they gave me a different name. So he'll just kind of like throw a little.
And this information just basically gets sent to the entire group by Merdine, but not necessarily like in a, hey, everybody, I'm giving you the information, but more like, oh, and just sort of like, it's a very, like, maybe you were not asking for this information, but all of a sudden then like Merdine is in your ears, in your icon being like, oh, and this is, and you're like, is he actually talking to me right now? And then like all this, like the important information is like getting sort of like the names and dates.
I feel like you get that a lot from Merdine. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And it's usually actually quite interesting information, but you're never quite certain if he means to tell you or whether or not.
Just this. Yeah.
We all know just way too much about plants now.
Fair.
Yes. Because sometimes it's important information like Naida Kataris' actual, the fake name, and sometimes it's about a plant, and you're like, oh, okay.
Right. Is that a genus name?
That's it.
Is that another rose?
But clearly the stuff about plants is equally or more important than the stuff about everything else.
Oh,
So
Yes.
like you hear it and you're like, okay, right, it's plants again. Wait, that wasn't a plant. Go back.
So we need to wrap up, but I think we need to end with coming back to Atropo, because
these names, Atropo.
I sense that you have not completed your conversation with Nasir. So how do you want that to go?
But you do get the names.
Yes.
I think that was the end of it because she needs to search out the seneschal.
Okay, not a problem.
Yeah, that's not going to go without any kind of retribution of what just.
Yeah.
If you let this if you let this be known, it was just from mind to mind, Dorian will think back. Would you like me to send him to you?
Ah, that's it.
You'll just hear in your head. That would be wonderful.
Excellent.
So, where do you want to meet the seneschal? And I'm assuming it's just the two of you. Yes.
I think that I am just going to be shown up in that private room that he thought no one knew about.
That's the one. Okay. Okay, so he goes back in there.
Yeah. Like, do you have that thing that I saw that I saw you wearing the other night? It was so wonderful.
Yes. And he is obviously surprised to see anyone here. Oh, do you look like you did when he summoned you, or something else?
The way she was summoned was very much the form that they wanted to see.
Yes.
And this is much more what I would say is what she actually looks like.
Gotcha.
So the form that he sees is very gaunt. Is almost looks skeletal in nature, like very, I would say very similar to Grim Reaper style.
Nice. Okay. In that case, he immediately falls to his knees in a position of supplication and is literally speechless.
I think we need to have a conversation.
That was clearly not what he's expecting, so he looks up and then does not like what he sees but can't look away.
You see, that necklace, while beautiful, I do not wish to be a puppet on strings. I'd like to reach into his mind and start looking through that filing cabinet of memories.
Okay, so what you discover is that the memories are all there. He just can't access them. And what I'm assuming is the most relevant memory that you hit is yeah. So I'm assuming that Merdine, you also generally transmitted an image of Naida, yes? So
yes.
So
and
you know what she looks like.
Flowers. Sometimes it's a little bit of extra information that they get that they may not find very exciting, but I do. There was a whole image of like the wood grain against the door frame itself, which was actually very nice. This was in there along with
and then also this person that came through it. Yeah.
Yes.
So you know what she is, you know the context in which she came here. And you know that she first off, you have an image of her giving him the necklace. You also are aware that she did, again, not erase the memories, merely removed his ability to access them, of encountering her at all, and placed more than one what was effectively a post-hypnotic suggestion on him.
Good to know. And I guess as far as the post-hypnotic, what was the suggestion?
The biggest one is that if he should encounter anyone, and she wasn't talking about you specifically, but the properties that she gives him to look out for, you have most of them. So first off, it would be an off-worlder that displays a significant amount of power, and also actually no, those are pretty much the two things. She was looking for someone that, you know, like from your perspective, someone that is a world walker that is also that he would perceive as being actually in his case that he would perceive as being a deity. And you should give the necklace to that person.
Gotcha. Do I have a feeling like this is a person at fault? Like it weaving through his memories, like, is this something like she did this to him? Is he a bad person? Because that will depend on what happens to him.
She capitalized on his ambition and greed. It was there. He would have definitely found a way, probably something magical, because that's all him. The magic stuff was him. The cult was him. The rituals were his doing. He is in fact a practitioner of magic. So all of that was him, and he would have found a way to do what he was trying to do without her helping. She just definitely gave him a significant push.
Okay. Yeah, then she's not going to feel bad about this at all.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, she's not had to do it very often. But if someone tries to take control of her or use her magic, she usually makes some sort of example of them.
Yes.
And that is what she is going to do.
All right. So in what state does he end up, I guess is the question.
Deceased with the mark of the Harbinger.
Nice. Do you leave him in the private room or someplace that someone else can find him more easily?
Somewhere out in the open.
That's what I thought. Just checking. All right, not a problem. Okay. And I think that might be a good place to wrap up because I can't top that. So
are we going to leave Celix? Yeah.
Eventually. Does anyone have any? If you want, we can talk about it between now and next session. If you have anything else to do there.
Good question.
Yeah,
I might want to follow up with some of that weird metal cult nonsense.
And some of that might be something we don't necessarily have to play out. We can do what we did last time and just talk it out on Discord.
Well, and I could ask my spy masters. I don't necessarily have
that too. Oh my gosh,
present.
good point.
Yeah.
Oh, also, like, if you're looking to, like, you know, steal a sample of the metal, that would be child's play for you.
Yay.
So stuff like that. So anybody that has any further questions, if it turns out we need to do a scene, we'll start it next week. If not, we'll just talk it out between now and then.
So we're going to see Lucian, right? Basically.
At some point, maybe we may end up starting the next one with the Lucian visit. Yeah.
And for the record, just because I want it to be for the record, when I open up doors, because, you know, the thing is about doors, they can go from the stair out or from one world to two doors can connect in the world, but they can't really do other things unless there's a thing that you're not supposed to. It's framed as a trap, you see, but I find it useful in other ways. You can divert a door, so the door is supposed to go to A, but you divert it to B, but you do that to trap other people.
Yeah.
I use it so that we can get back and no one knows where we went. This door's not supposed to go there, but I divert it where I want it to go. So what would be a trap for them is actually our one-off way to get back.
Sure.
So we can't be, there's no, what's the word? Permanent door. There's not a permanent door between Albion and Celix. I like divert a door to Albion temporarily as a trap so that we get out, but nobody knows, no one can follow us.
I like that. Okay.
Very nice.
So if everyone's cool with retreating to Albion eventually, and again, like I said, we're not. If there is whatever else you want to do in Celix before next time, we'll talk about that, and you will have done that. So unless anybody has anything else, I think we're out. All right.
Excellent. Very, very cool. This is very interesting. I'm very much looking forward to seeing where things go with this.
I like our handsome young prince. He's got pizzazz. Oh, I think the young people call it Riz. He's got Riz. This young prince.
That's what they're saying now. Oh,
I think so. I think a Riz is some sort of raspberry soda or something. I don't know why he has one, but I think he does.
I mean, among all of you, Murthine
grow on this planet?
Murthine is the young one. So
I am the young one. So I don't think
coming in with all this Gen Z energy.
That's right. It's just that, not an Eidolon master, so I don't have the same sort of immortality as everybody else, but I know the hip things.
Excellent. Well, we're going to go ahead and go around, and we're going to do our outros. Feel free to tell folks where they can find you, any final, and give us any final thoughts you have about this session or favorite bits or whatnot. And as always, we're going in reverse order, so we're starting with our GM, Brian.
Once again, thanks a lot for playing. This was so much fun. I am really, really enjoying the story. And my favorite part of this was each of you had interactions with other ones that were just so much fun to watch, like the two Umbra Masters with Atropos going, "Oh, you lost control." I love that one. but also the whole discussion about the chimney between the three of you. So that was that was great. Those are merely two examples, but yeah, I'm really liking the way everyone's meshing together. And sorry, I should say things. I'm Brian Cooksey. I'm Vaclam, VAKLAM on all the things. Although all the things these days is basically blue sky. And I also will remind you of the podcast that I do with my friend Quinn Murphy. It's called Infectious Enthusiasm. And again, we are between seasons, but we are starting some more up in the next few months. And watch, honestly, if you just watch me on Blue Sky, eventually I'll mention it. And thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Yay. Excellent. And now we will head over to Trooper.
Hello, I'm TrooperSJP. I was playing Murthine Wicht, the botanist. You can find, what is today? Today's Tuesday. You can find me RPG-wise on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on my channel, TrooperSJP, for the finale of our 6-shot of Through the Valley of the Dead, a post-dystopian space western. And then on Sunday, over at 8 p.m., over at Praxagor Thesmophoria's place, you can find me for Truly Madly Falkenstein, where I play an action alchemist. And then, of course, back here on Tuesday, where we get to see my very good friend who would never use me, Lucian, and I want to give love. I was really excited to be able to show some of the kind of things that a master of the Grand Stair can do, door manipulation. That was fun, and how that can be useful. But I just really love that protective nature that popped out of Dame Laudine, was like, nope, don't like this. How everybody reacted. I was like, let's go see Lucy. And they're like, no. That was just, every single person had the best reaction to that. I loved it. I also love everybody's great mind. I don't want to take all the good stuff because I want everyone else to have them. But I loved how Scythe was like, okay, if they have an off-world, that means they're going to have black market smuggling that's off-world smuggling. Let me find that. That was brilliant. And Laudine's like, are the people afraid of the guards? What's the, like, every single person, right? And then, Atropos, like, I won't take that one since it's too good, but like the rivalry between Dorian and Atropos is just so good. I love it. And I was like, oh, so-and-so's winning. Oh, no, they're not winning. Oh. And so like, then I suppose that's actually how Umbra and Eidolon work, that they both win. Yay, sharing is caring. And That's my love. And also, Brian, I have to say, the prince, so charismatic. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, you have been watching some romance novels. You don't watch romance novels, but you know what I mean.
He's fun to play. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, all right. Nice.
Thanks. I gotta contrive more reasons for that guy to show up. Yeah.
Yes, you do, actually. And I will ship him with anyone. I don't know. I haven't decided.
Yes.
Everybody. I will ship him with everyone at the moment.
We can take turns.
I pass it.
Awesome. And now we're going to head back over to Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa Gay. I am playing Scythe, and you can find me on the web at melissagay.com. Super easy. It's my art portfolio site. You can also find me at Melissa Gay with 3 Ys on Blue Sky, and I'm at melissa.gay.art on Facebook, and I have a Patreon. If you really like my art, it is Melissa Gay on Patreon. And I am really loving the way the relationships between these characters are developing. It has been truly wonderful. I love that we've all become like really protective of Mervine, but like between the group, I mean, we're really gelling as a group, and yet you can see the sort of the waves and the pushes and the pulls between everyone's interactions with each other. It's just enriching the whole game world, and I really appreciate everyone.
Me too. This has been great. And now we'll head over to Mary.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her. You've probably seen my cat multiple times, Potato. He's around here somewhere, probably begging for my attention. You can find me online at the Nerd on Wheels everywhere on social media. Coming up for me, you can find me tomorrow. We are doing a reschedule of my every other Wednesday game, Phandelver and Below, Halia's Harriers, over on Enchanting Sorcery Productions. It is a D&D classic where we've taken out all of the old lore, we've remixed it, made it new, and we are preparing for a Saving Private Ryan type battle. So if you want to see the calm before the storm, tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. EST. And then I've got some fun stuff coming up in September that I can't talk about yet, but I've got some spooky Halloween things prepared. So stay tuned.
Excellent. And now we'll head over to Noctua.
All right. Hello, all. I'm Noctua. I have been Dame Laudine, who is your knight in shining armor. This session was amazing, and because we were all thinking it and we haven't said it, that last scene with Atropos was just, on point.
Yeah.
Loved that.
I forgot to give a
so
favorite
much.
scene. I'm so sorry. My brain.
Do you want to do that? Go for it.
I absolutely loved how our wonderful thief spy and discovering the black market ring. That was so cool and so smart. And parroting off of everyone coming up with these problem solving ideas. I love it. It's what I find so interesting about this game, and how I feel like with the rule set, because we aren't bound by so many of like, here's a number of spell slots we can do. There's so much fun to play with that it makes more of the calm and almost like the cozy environment moments so much more appealing, and like we want to use that stuff. So I really like how that has come across and is working throughout the game.
Yeah. To actually jump off that point, something that I really appreciate is that because each character has such a varied skill set, like no two characters are similar, each person decided to approach this trip to Salix a radically different direction. Like everyone's like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And we all just like, we got there and we went 5 different ways. And everyone learned something relevant. And I think every single person got one unique piece of information. So it like all together, we actually learned quite a bit that none of us would have gotten if we like traveled as a whole party, like to each place. So yeah, different than like traditional TTRPG dynamics, but it worked really well. All right, I've rambled on. I'm Noctua. You can find me over at Blue Sky at Noctua Magda, and I don't have any other streaming going on, so come say hi on Blue Sky.
At the moment.
Awesome. Yeah, this has been glorious. I actually and that is the thing, is just seeing how disparate, how different all of these characters are, and yet how in sync everyone seems to be with getting things together. It's remarkable, and I'm really enjoying it. I do want to say, I think that probably my favorite scene was the argument about Lucian. Just because we all had different kind of feelings about it, and as we're possibly getting ready to do this thing, and yeah, no, it's and we all very badly want to protect Merdine, but also
I'm a little naive, just a little naive. That's all.
But he brings up excellent points. That this is the person who knows. So this is information we need. I also really loved that at the beginning we kind of got to see a little bit of each person's realm, of each person's Gossamer world, and that was really cool. I'm hoping we get to do a little more back and forth. I know that we only have so much time, but I'm hoping at some point we get to do a little more visiting of people's realms or something along those lines. We'll see. But this has been wonderful. As for myself, who am I again? At the moment, I'm Jim. You can find me at OtherDoc. Yeah, one of them, yes. Well, yeah, that one. Yeah, that I am that Jim specifically. Because you can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch, YouTube, and most social media platforms. But wherever I'm not OtherDoc, I'm Jim. Yes, that Jim. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. Down below, you can access my website, social media links, YouTube channel, and various other things, such as a link to where you can pick up the game that I just released a little while ago, 1 Year Hence. If there's any interest in that, you can click on that or go to oneyearhence.com if you're interested in games like For the Queen, and Arthurian Legends, specifically the story of Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. If you want to see that in that format, that's there. As far as things going on the channel, this is it for right now, for the most part, aside from me just sort of playing video games, and every other Thursday, not this Thursday, when we're available, Lucci and I play old text adventure games, my friend Lucci. And so that's most of what's happening right now. Other things perhaps will happen later. We'll see, but I'm just sort of taking it easy at the moment. I've been informed I need to take a break from things that the whole throwing my whole brain at the jamming thing every time it happens, and so I'm trying to heed that advice. We'll see how long that lasts, but I will do my best. But when we hit the end card, we're going to be sending a raid over to somebody. I've seen a couple of channels that have been doing stuff. We might we're probably going to be going either towards it looks like it's going to be either vampires or fantasy stuff. One of those two things. I'm not sure which it'll be, but probably one of those. I see we're getting votes for vampires. So that's true. We did have a sort of a goth conversation off stream a little while ago. Perhaps we'll go say hi to the vampires. Yes, I see you there in chat saying you need to start a betting pool about how long I can go without jamming. I don't know, but we'll see. In the meantime, we're going to go say hi to them. Feel free to hang on if you're so inclined and say hi to them for us. That'll be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you all of a sudden. Farewell.